This is history calling. What you are about to discover about Cleopatra's tomb contradicts 2,000 years of history. The truth is not what you think, and it has been deliberately hidden. For centuries, one question has haunted archaeologists and fascinated the world. Where is the final resting place of Cleopatra, Egypt's most famous queen? Wild theories, relentless searches, billions spent, all in vain. But what if I told you that most experts have been looking in the wrong place? Recently analyzed documents, ignored by 99% of scholars, reveal a new theory so shocking it could rewrite history. In the next few minutes, we will unearth a secret kept for 2 millennia. So what do we know about Cleopatra? We know she was born in 69 BC, and when she died in 30 BC, she left no heir. Rome swallowed up Egypt, and what about her tomb? Despite countless investigations, nobody knows where she was buried, or perhaps they do know but are hiding it from us. Some believe her remains rest in the royal quarter of Alexandria. Others think the tomb is near the temple of Taposiris Magna, 50 kilometers from Alexandria. What I'm about to show you in the next 60 seconds isn't just another theory. It's a concrete lead, based on a rereading of ancient texts that historians thought they knew by heart. This revelation could completely transform our understanding of Cleopatra's death. To understand where to find the tomb, we first need to understand why it was lost. Cleopatra VII, the last queen of Egypt, died in 30 BC. The official story, written by her Roman enemies, tells of her dramatic suicide by snakebite. But before we continue, I have a question for you. What do you think about the ongoing search for Cleopatra's tomb? Do you believe it will ever be found? Share your thoughts in the comments below. It was said that Cleopatra, Queen of Egypt, was the epitome of grace, intelligence and power. When she met the Roman general Mark Antony, it was love at first sight, and soon they were ruling Egypt together. But their idyllic existence did not last long. Octavian, later known as Augustus, who wanted to conquer Egypt, declared war on them. As the Roman army approached Alexandria, Cleopatra and Mark Antony realized they were trapped. Legend has it that when Cleopatra heard the news of Octavian's arrival, she locked herself in a room with only one way out. When her servants went into the room, they found a dead snake, and the queen nowhere to be seen. They looked everywhere for her, but Cleopatra was gone. She had vanished without a trace. The only witness to her disappearance was a small note. Was this a suicide note? Did Cleopatra take her own life, or did she escape somewhere? People have been arguing about this for centuries. However, I am not here to talk about how she disappeared. Instead, we will focus on where she was buried. According to some sources, she was buried near the temple of Taposiris Magna. How reliable are these sources? This is where Plutarch's work comes in. Plutarch wrote a biography of Cleopatra. It's important to mention that his work was published 100 years after Cleopatra's death. During this time, many stories about her, both true and false, circulated. Plutarch likely used unofficial sources that are no longer available to us. So while his writings are invaluable, they cannot be taken as literal historical fact. Plutarch wrote that after Cleopatra's death, her lover, Mark Antony, despite being her enemy, ordered that she be buried with honor, but he didn't specify where she was buried. Historians have debated for centuries over whether her tomb is in Alexandria or near the temple of Taposiris Magna. For centuries, it was believed their tomb was in Alexandria, in the royal quarter. The problem is, Alexandria has been hit by tsunamis and earthquakes. A large part of the ancient city is now underwater. You now understand why searching in Alexandria is so complex, but that's nothing compared to the revelation that follows. What if Cleopatra, a brilliant politician and master strategist, had planned for everything? What if she orchestrated her own disappearance to protect her legacy and her remains from Roman hands? In 2005, archaeologists began digging at the temple hoping to find her tomb. Their efforts paid off when they discovered fragments of marble and granite statues depicting her face. They also found coins with her image. These discoveries were significant, but not conclusive. Later, in 2018, they unearthed a bilingual stele near the temple, similar to the Rosetta Stone. This stele contained decrees issued by Ptolemy II, a pharaoh during Cleopatra's reign. Its discovery confirmed the importance of the site during the rule of Cleopatra and her dynasty. But still, no one could say with certainty that the temple was Cleopatra's burial place until recently. Most archaeologists have focused on Alexandria, but one archaeologist, Kathleen Martinez, proposed a radically different theory. She reread Plutarch's texts and noted a crucial detail. Cleopatra was a devout follower of the cult of Isis. She considered herself the reincarnation of the goddess. There is one temple that fits perfectly, Taposiris Magna, 50 kilometers west of Alexandria. A place that, according to belief, was one of the 14 sites where the dismembered body of Osiris, Isis's husband, was found, an extremely powerful symbol. Another intriguing aspect is the discovery of a secret tunnel beneath the temple. As you can imagine, excavating the burial chambers of an ancient queen is no easy task. You can't just start digging randomly. Archaeologists must follow solid leads, otherwise they could damage valuable artifacts. Let me tell you about an Egyptian archaeologist. For years, Dr. Zahai was the guardian of Egyptian antiquities like everyone else. Absolutely convinced the tomb was in Alexandria, he publicly called Martinez's theory pure speculation. Yet, after examining her arguments, he not only authorized the excavations, but became one of her biggest supporters, stating, "Her logic is perfect. If her theory is correct, it will be the greatest discovery of the 21st century." This turnaround from one of the world's top experts is the strongest proof that this lead is red hot. In 2020, archaeologists made a fascinating discovery. Using non-invasive techniques such as radar, they detected a 1,300-meter-long tunnel underneath the temple. A geometric miracle, according to archaeologists, was found beneath the temple. Could this be the entrance to Cleopatra's tomb? The press immediately picked up on this story. The media headlines screamed "Cleopatra's tomb discovered," dominated the news. However, things are not as simple as they seem. While the tunnel is undoubtedly intriguing, it's not in the exact location where historians expect Cleopatra's tomb to be. Moreover, the tunnel is partly flooded. Archaeologists have yet to determine its purpose. It could be a drainage system or a ceremonial passage related to the cult of Isis. It seems that search for Cleopatra's tomb is not as straightforward as initially thought. We may be close, yet we may also be far from unraveling this mystery. Now, let's return to the captivating story of Cleopatra's potential tomb. Why did Plutarch write that she was buried near the temple of Taposiris Magna? There are a couple of reasons. First, the cult of Isis played a significant role in ancient Egypt. Cleopatra identified strongly with the goddess Isis. She considered herself the embodiment of Isis on earth. It's plausible that she chose to be buried in a place sacred to Isis. Second, the temple of Taposiris Magna held immense importance in Egyptian society. It was believed that the body of Osiris, the supreme god of the underworld, was found here. In ancient Egyptian culture, the discovery of Osiris's body represented a moment of great joy. Therefore, it was fitting that Cleopatra, who considered herself divine, would choose this temple for her burial. Furthermore, there's reason to believe that the Egyptians possessed knowledge of the impending destruction of Alexandria due to rising sea levels. As a result, they might have deliberately concealed Cleopatra's tomb to protect it from being lost forever. This theory aligns with the fact that the temple of Taposiris Magna is located approximately 50 kilometers from Alexandria, potentially signifying an attempt to preserve the tomb away from the city's eventual demise. There's also a compelling theory suggesting that Cleopatra orchestrated her own disappearance after faking her death. Proponents of this idea believe that she escaped and lived out the remainder of her life in India. However, there's no concrete evidence to support this theory. It remains speculative and controversial. The recent discoveries of the tunnel and other archaeological findings have fueled speculation that Cleopatra's tomb may indeed lie beneath the temple of Taposiris Magna. As archaeologists continue their excavations in the area, we eagerly await new revelations that may shed light on this enduring mystery. One of the most concerning aspects of the search for Cleopatra's tomb is the threat posed by rising water levels, and this is where the theory becomes dizzying. What if Cleopatra, knowing that Alexandria was threatened by the elements, had deliberately chosen a place that would one day be protected by water? A tomb designed not to be found, but to be preserved forever, sealed by nature itself. The discovered tunnel may not be the entrance, but a drainage system or a ceremonial passage. The real burial chamber could be nearby, in a higher, still unexcavated part of the site. Radar scans have detected 3 major underground anomalies near the temple, 3 cavities that could be burial chambers. The excavations are now focusing on these specific points. If the tomb is discovered, it probably won't contain gold or fabulous treasures, which would have been looted long ago. but it could contain something far more precious, as papyri texts written by Cleopatra herself, her version of history, treatises on medicine, philosophy, politics, the true mind of the last queen of Egypt, finally revealed. With advancements in technology and archaeological techniques, there's renewed optimism among experts. Finding Cleopatra's tomb is not just a historical pursuit, it's a race against time. This legendary queen's story continues to fascinate and intrigue us. Whether her tomb will ultimately be found remains uncertain, but the quest itself has already yielded invaluable insights into ancient Egyptian history and culture. As we eagerly await new discoveries, one thing is clear: Cleopatra's legacy lives on, reminding us of the mysteries and wonders that lie hidden in our past. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Your support means the world to us. Keep exploring with us, and let's uncover more historical secrets together.